today we are going to look at letters that belong to the straight line family. First of all, I want to make sure that you are sitting in your BBC position, bottom back in chair, with your tummy next to the table, and to make sure you've got 6 feet on the floor. Also, make sure that your pencil is held correctly. We're going to start today's session with a warm-up. So I'm going to start with some straight lines, a short line and a tail line. So these 2 lines for today's lesson, we're going to call them the top solid line and the bottom solid line. The first line is going to start in the middle of the top solid line and the bottom solid line, and it's going to go from the middle all the way down to the bottom solid line. The next line is going to start in exactly the same place, but it's going to go below the bottom solid line. Then I'm going to repeat from the first line again, in the middle of the top and bottom solid line, all the way down to the bottom solid line. Then I'm going to start in exactly the same place, and I'm going to go all the way down past the bottom solid line. I'd like you to repeat that, please, until you get to the end of the page. Right, our first letter today is going to be I, okay? And what I'd like you to do, we're going to build up the letter. So I'm going to start where we've just started our first line, and it's going to be in the middle of the top solid line and the bottom solid line. I'm going to draw a straight line downwards. I'm going to do another one and another one. Please, can you do 3 more, please? I'd also like you to put a dot under your best one. And can you do 1 more like that, please? Then we're going to do the same thing again, starting in the middle of the top solid line and the bottom solid line, and you're going to go downwards, and then we're going to have a north-easterly joining line. I'll do it again, and again. Can you do 3 more, please? The next one we're going to do is exactly the same again, starting in the middle of the top solid line and the bottom solid line, all the way down to the bottom solid line, north-easterly joining line, and a dot just below the top solid line. Make sure that your dot is not a football. Can you do 3 more? Right, we're going to move on now to an U or an L. And this letter starts at the top solid line and it goes all the way down to the bottom solid line. Can you do that, please? If you do 3 more. Then you're going to start at the top solid line all the way down to the bottom solid line, and then you're going to do a north-easterly joining line, just like we did with the letter I. Now, can you put a dot under your best one and do 1 more of those, please? Right, we're going to move now on to the letter T or T. Now this letter actually starts just below the top solid line. So we're going to start just below the top solid line, and we're going to go down to the bottom solid line, just like we've done previously. We're starting just below the top solid line, down to the bottom solid line. Just below the top solid line, down to the bottom solid line. Can you repeat that 3 more times, please? Then we're going to do the same thing again, starting exactly the same place, going all the way down to the bottom solid line, and we're going to do a north-easterly joining line. Down to the bottom solid line, north-easterly joining line, down to the bottom solid line, and a north-easterly joining line. Can you do 3 of those, please? Then we're going to put a line through the lines we've just done, like this. So we'll start at the just below the top solid line, all the way down to the bottom solid line, northeasterly joining line, and a line that goes all the way through. Start just below the top solid line, all the way down to the bottom solid line, northeasterly joining line, and then a line through the middle. Can you repeat that 3 times? Our final letter today is going to be a J or a Ch, and it goes below the line, the bottom solid line. So start in the middle as like you did with your I or your I. Go all the way down past the bottom solid line. Make them straight as you can. If you could do 3 of those. And then you're going to put a hook on the bottom. Starting in the middle and going all the way down. Can you see if you can do 3 more of those? Then maybe put a dot under your best one and then replicate it next to it. And the final stage is to do exactly the same again, just starting in the middle of the top and bottom solid line, all the way down, and then put a dot. Not a football, but a dot. I'll do one again. So there you have the straight line family.